Alright guys, I have got the old boiling pot set up here. So what I'm doing today is basically doing a couple of Euro mounts from my bear that I killed, and I had a whitetail that I needed to do a Euro mount on. It's just a skull cap on this whitetail, so it's just about done, but the bear's down in there. Whoa, there's his brain, it's floating up. The perfect whitetail brain just floated up. I need to add just a little water, so I'll do that here in a second. That one's almost done, but I'll go through the process. Bears are really greasy, so you have to go through a degreasing process, which takes a couple of months, but we're going to knock everything off, get it salted up, let it set for a couple of days and dry out, and then I'm going to go into the degreasing process. But this is basically all you need to do it. Just some kind of turkey fryer or fish fryer and a big pot. And you can do all your Euro mounts yourself and not have to worry about a taxidermist, because why wait when you can just do it yourself? There's just water. I don't add anything to the water at this point. And another thing I do is I boil everything low and slow, man, just like you would do a brisket. So this is probably going to take, for that bear head, probably 5 hours. But you can see right there, I just barely have it boiling. It's just barely, I mean, that's exactly where you want it. So you do it like you do a roast almost. And if you do it right, it's just going to fall apart once you pull it out of there. So I'll show as I'm carving the meat off and stuff like that, and the whole process that I go through for that, getting the meat off there. But that's all you need. You need a boiling pot and some propane and a pot. You just add water and boil it low and slow, probably for a deer head 4 or 5 hours. You'll know, because when you pick it up, the meat just falls off of it when you sling it. It's pretty cool. And once we get done, we're going to salt it, and I'll show you that process, but there's not a lot to it. Like I said, propane tank, fish fryer, big aluminum pot, and down in there somewhere, along with all this other stuff, is a bear, and this is what my wife affectionately calls deer head soup. She hates it. It's got a very distinct smell. As a matter of fact, I can't even eat. As a matter of fact, after doing this for years now, I can't even eat barbacoa, because that's exactly what it smells like. No barbacoa for me. It smells exactly like deer head soup. Alright guys, the deer head's been boiling for, I don't know, 5+ hours. So what we're going to do now, you can see the skin still on it there. We're just going to take a knife like this, and you can see it comes off super easy. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Even when you do a deer head, it's that easy if you boil it long enough. So, a little brain right there, a little membrane, kind of scrapes right out. The bear's probably just about ready. So we'll pull him out and let him cool off, and we'll scrape him as well. So that's it right there. I'm going to wash it off real quick, and then we'll salt it and let it set. Alright guys, got it all cleaned out. I use like a scrubber brush, and it all comes off there. So it's all cleaned up and wet. And while it's wet, I like to take just table salt, pour all over it. Do the same thing with the skull. There you go. Just pour table salt on it. That way, if you didn't get something while it's drying out, you give it about a week, week and a half, and then you can just wash the table salt off and it's cured. Alright guys, here's the bear head. I'll let it cool off for about 30 minutes. It's still pretty hot. It's almost like a roast when you get it done, as you can see there. Watch this. This is awesome. When you do it right and long enough, see here, I just take a knife and right there, look at that, the meat just falls off. Oh, there we go. Wow, it's hot. It's a little warm. That bone underneath, it's like a roast. So you put it in the bag right there, or you can wear gloves, or you can let it cool off. But I like to get it while it's hot. It comes off easier and better when you're cleaning up. Cut it off, the jaw falls off. Look at that. Look how simple that is. You just don't want to cook it too long because then the bone will fall apart on you. But I think we got this one just right. And I can say bear meat smells better than deer meat, believe it or not. So. I will be honest with you, a bear is a greasy sucker. It's greasy like a pig. I don't know which one's greasier, to be honest with you. They're both pretty bad. I want to be careful with the nostrils there, because you don't want to bust all, you want to keep all that stuff intact in your skull. The back of the head on the whitetails is the part that requires the most work in pigs and everything else. But you just gotta, you sit here with a little boning knife and get all this meat out of all these little spots right here. And a lot of guys will use a power washer. You can do that too to clean it up. I've never seen the need for it. If you're squeamish about meat, it's just cooked meat. My wife and daughters, they're all squeamish about it. And I'm like, man, it's no different than a roast you eat. Actually, it's probably better. You know where it came from. But they're, for whatever reason, they're squeamish about it. I get it. I'm not, as you can tell, squeamish at all. I'm hoping that it's not getting too dark where you guys can't see what I'm doing here. It's a process, that's for sure. I'm fixing to stop and make dinner for my wife. I'm not going to tell her I've been messing with all this. I'll go wash my hands. But she'll ask, you got beer or deer stuff all over you? Because she knows I'm out here doing it. But that is alright. We're going to finish this sucker up. I'm going to go wash him up here in a second. But as you can tell, I got a little more work to do, but it's getting pretty clean. So I'm going to finish these up. I like to let it dry out and cure just a little and then stick it in there and degrease it. So we'll stop right there for a minute.